The purpose of this video is to show the effects of low amounts of alcohol consumption on essential driving skills. MADD Canada does not encourage anyone to consume alcohol and then drive. In fact, our message is very clear. If you drink, don't get behind the wheel of a car. This demonstration was conducted on a closed road course under the supervision of professional police driving instructors. All precautions were taken to ensure that none of the participants were ever at risk.
My name is Chaz. I'm a receptionist. I'm 20 years old. I'm 5'7" and I weigh 130 pounds.
My name is Jeff. I'm a security officer. I'm 23 years old, 5'8" and 173 pounds.
My name is Deidre. I'm an administrative assistant. I'm 24 years old. I'm 5'5.5" and 165 pounds.
My name is Mark. I'm an investment advisor. I'm 42 years old, 192 pounds, and 5'11".
Each of the participants drove the closed, supervised course 3 times. The first time, they were sober. The second time, their blood alcohol concentration was targeted to be as close to 0.05% BAC as possible. And the third time, their BAC was targeted to be as close to 0.099% BAC as possible.
This particular course that we designed today, that we customized because we took the time to sit down and customize this mini course. If you have a license to drive an automobile, you should be able to do this course with no difficulty at all. We don't want them to get in the car and say afterwards they couldn't do it because it was too hard for them. It's everyday driving we were trying to accomplish. The only section of it that you wouldn't find really on a city street would be our serpentine. The purpose of that is to simulate cornering so that they can keep their eyes up and making corners. So the serpentine really is a series of 5 or 6 corners without having them drive around a block for 5 minutes.
I sat with each individual during the dry runs so they were able to practice this a few times for them to ensure they got a good handle of the vehicle, where they were supposed to go and what was expected of them.
Keep going. Good, you're done. Okay.
That's right.
0.
What we're going to do is, now that we've got some particulars here about body weight, sex, and height, from that we're going to determine the amount of alcohol that they ought to consume over a 20-minute period. When they are breath tested, 15 minutes after the end of drinking, they'll be at or very close to maximum blood alcohol concentration associated with that beverage.
She's having some problems.
I think what we can do The other thing we can do is get a sort of an instant reaction from you. On a scale of 1 to 10, are you drunk? Okay.
I'd say what I felt was drunk, I'd say it was maybe a 6 or a 7. I noticed a difference already. There's no question.
Good, stop. It's good. 80.
On a 1 to 10, would you say you're intoxicated by alcohol? To what extent?
About an 8. I mean, like, what, 10 being intoxicated, or?
Well, whatever you say.
Okay, I feel 8. I feel good.
All right.
Good. Don't worry. 44.
I'm probably at this point only about a 6 or so. Yeah.
While you stayed on the line, you had a bit of a problem making the turn.
A little bit.
Was it more difficult to
Um,
get the toe, or are you comfortable with it?
A little bit, but I was still okay.
Still okay
I
with
was
it.
still comfortable with it.
I think you can see that even before you hit .08 that there is a significant degree of impairment in drinking subjects, and you don't necessarily have to go over the legal limit to be impaired.
I'm .8. I'm already over the limit, and there's no question. I wouldn't drive if I felt this way.
So, Mark, this time around, how'd you feel this time?
It was a chore to drive, rather than just being natural or second nature. It was, almost processing everything, concentrating on each thing. I know I overshot the stop sign. I feel it.
So what was the difference between this run and the runs prior to having anything to drink?
The level of concentration it took to do this course, as opposed to the first time I took it. It just felt like my brain was telling me to do one thing, but my hands couldn't do it as quickly as my brain told me to do it. So it definitely, it makes a difference.
Oop, there goes one.
Did you find a difference in this ride compared to the ones that we've practiced?
Not offhand, but as no, I didn't really notice.
Go and get your drinks, waste them up. And,
She wants to make sure there's orange juice left.
Yeah, I just want to make sure the pulse doesn't suck. I can't imagine anyone ever driving in this kind of state.
Keep going. Keep going. Come on, keep going. 93.
a couple of things that I think are noteworthy. First, you fell off the wire. And secondly, it wasn't really heel to toe right along, was it?
No,
So
definitely
you were
not.
now at this point misjudging some of the
A
distances.
little bit, yeah.
I think it was 6 or 7, let's say 8 or 9.
All right.
As I say that, I think maybe 9 or 10.
8 being I'm not intoxicated, 1 being I am intoxicated. This time I'd say complete opposite. I'd say I'm about 4 intoxication, like 4 is in how able I am to drive at the moment.
I hate to say this, but you're beginning to display some cognitive impairment.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Okay, because you're starting to get confused over that visual analog scale.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Sure. 109.
While they recognize that they are intoxicated by alcohol and more unlikely impaired, there's still always a sense that, well, I can still make it. I'm not too bad. And this is where this blood alcohol concentration is extremely dangerous.
Okay, Mark, I have the keys.
Yeah, you have the key.
Would you normally accept these keys at this moment?
I wouldn't be driving.
You
I
wouldn't be
wouldn't. I wouldn't have driven the first time.
In your opinion, did you stop at the stop bar?
No, I was probably.
You were already in the intersection when you came to a stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be. I know I was beyond. I know I reacted a lot later to the stop. I definitely feel too drunk to drive. In fact, after driving, I probably feel more intoxicated than I did when I was standing outside the car.
Ooh, got one. How many are there? 5? Oh, well, got the same one as last time.
Are you glad it's over?
Yeah.
If you had to drink any more, would you do this again?
I
Would you
wouldn't want to.
continue on?
I'd do it for scientific purposes, but I'd never drive like I feel right now on any city street. I'd never want to. I'd never feel it was appropriate.
Definitely intoxicated. Yeah.
When you first started off, what was your difficulties? What were you struggling with right off the bat?
Just remembering the gears and the way the car operated all together, and then doing the course and under the influence. As far as my motor skills go, I'm just totally not with it at all. Not enough to ever imagine enough to get behind the wheel of a car.
I think what surprised me the most was their confidence level increased dramatically after just having a couple drinks. Normally, it would take a driver more time behind the wheel, practicing the same exercise before their confidence was actually boosted. I think the alcohol did that for them. They drove a little bit assertively, sometimes a little more aggressively, and that's normally not the case in a sober driver.
When we were up at, the above 80 levels, each of the 3 participants today were severely impaired when it came to basic driving skills. And each of them openly admitted that given a choice, they wouldn't drive. And that proves our point that even below what a police officer would lay a criminal code charge, people are impaired and should not be driving at those high levels of intoxication.
In closing, MADD Canada would like to remind all viewers that the drink amounts shown in this video are not to be used for any purpose other than this controlled experiment. Each individual has different rates of metabolism, and various types of alcoholic beverages have different percentages of alcohol by volume. Please do your part to separate the activities of drinking and driving to help keep our roadways safe and sober. MADD Canada would like to thank the Ontario Police College, the Centre of Forensic Sciences, the Toronto Police Service, and the Niagara Regional Police Service for their cooperation and dedication in making this educational video a reality.